Hi. You saying hi?
Hi,
All right,
everybody.
well,
Hey.
Hi, everybody. Hey, so I was thinking about something,
What?
and I was just sitting here with my son Theo, and I was thinking about that very popular topic right now, which is Aaron Rodgers, the football player, who basically announced that he took some alternative therapies for the mass-demic virus, and he's gotten a lot of flack, even though he actually recovered quickly. It's like, God forbid that this guy that took some alternative therapies decided that he was going to go a different route than the mainstream narrative and basically heal himself quickly. God forbid. And I just started thinking about the whole Nazi mentality. You know, all these people were, brainwashed in masses, and they embraced this mindset of people that would rise up into power and then start killing people and, murdering hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people because they didn't agree with the ideology that was being presented to them. And, it often makes me wonder, because I never really fully investigated the concept of, the people and who was manipulated and brainwashed. But I was thinking about the people that, they pitted against each other. Like how many, of the JEWs, back in the 30s and the 40s or whatever, or even 20s, did they, just the people in general, turn against them based on someone's ideology? They rejected the people that didn't conform, and they stood out because of the actual people that brought them out in the open. I don't think that, and again, it was the boiling frog effect. I don't think anyone would have just let that happen. I think it was a progression. And it's funny, it's not funny, it's freaking terrifying. But I actually look at today and see how people have been persuaded and manipulated to embrace something that you look at on the surface and think, how in the world could anybody ever just let something like this happen? And really, the government doesn't have to do anything at this point. They do things, but they are really just dousing the fire with a little bit of fuel, so it goes, and the people are just really the fire that are, the runaway fire, because people embrace that ideology, and now, the government's just dousing the people with, just making sure that fire stays alive. That's what the media does, right? They're just dousing the fire. And, it's interesting to me that there's so many people out there that will ridicule and demonize, somebody in the spotlight like Aaron Rodgers. And granted, I don't even care about football anymore. I used to. But now I look at it like it's all just a big media frenzy that controls the mind and controls the masses. It reminds me of like the, what do you call it? The Colosseum, in Rome, where they would just get people to embrace these concepts and basically, be rooting for the murder of Christians or whatever, and throw them to the lions. I kind of think that it's possible that as we progress in this time, we're going to see a lot more people say, throw them to the lions. lions! Throw them to the lions! Or off with their heads! You know? It's funny, like, we'll look back at history and say, oh, well, there's no way that anyone would ever just let that creep in. No way. No way. People are too moral. Yet, there are a lot of moral people standing up. A lot of moral people standing up. And I'm talking to my video, Theo.
Hi.
Hi. A lot of moral people that are standing up and getting ridiculed and demonized because they don't conform to the narrative. So for those of you who conform to the narrative, just remember the Nazis, how it was a progression. And over in time, they actually started, the people just said, okay, we'll lift you up and, put you on your pedestal. And then they didn't really have to do much after that. People already embraced it. And then all they needed to do at that point is just douse the fire so that the people did all the work. The people are doing all the work right now because, they don't really need the media. They don't really need the government at this point, because there's so many people that are willing to fight the cause that social media is really just the vehicle that's just going to start demonizing everybody that doesn't conform to the narrative. I'm trying to be discreet with my language so that the algorithm doesn't catch on, but it's obvious that this is the time that we live in. There's just no freedom of speech. There's no freedom of choice. There's no bodily autonomy. I think that that's a concept of the past, and we are moving forward into the future of humanity, the future that we must embrace in order to fit into society. And even the people that we consider heroes that stand up against that narrative, even proving that the alternative views are true, it still is too unacceptable because it's not part of the narrative. So if this guy, Aaron Rodgers, says, oh, well, yeah, I took Joe Rogan's advice. Yeah, it seems like everything Joe Rogan was saying is true because look I'm better. I'm feeling better. And interesting how that works. And people would argue, well, maybe it wasn't even the stuff that he used. Maybe it was his immune system. Oh, I just said a trigger word. It's like the God-given immune system. Oh, God forbid. Oh, how could you ever, allow your body to fight off a disease? How could you ever even suggest that that's even something that could happen? No. He was saying he tried an alternative treatment, and guess what? It was not well embraced by the people, and not just the people, but the media. They're freaking just tearing him apart. Even though he is an icon in our, in our country or whatever, which again, icons are one of those things where people are lifted up as long as they are embraced. Maybe and again, a lot of these, sporting complexes or whatever, whether it be NFL, NBA, I feel like a lot of these players that stand up and say no, they're not only demonized, but they're going to be probably rejected or ejected from, hey, don't mess with that, bud. That's important. That's daddy's money. Don't touch it. Give it here. All right. Thanks, bud. So I guess this little guy is trying to get into things. What are you doing, Theo? Tell him what you're doing. Yeah. That's all you got to say for yourself. Anyways, but yeah, what do you guys think? What are your thoughts? Leave some comments below. And it was nice chatting with you guys the other day, or yesterday, with my wife. And show some support to my lady when she comes on. It's very, it's a boost for our relationship to have her on there, because not only do our ideologies they're blending together more and more lately, but I want you guys to realize that if you support her, she's going to be more interested in coming around on certain issues. Because even to this day, she'll say, I won't even look at the world cosmology because it doesn't matter to me ultimately. I better wrap up. My son needs me. Anyways, love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.